no woman actually knows. In order to be put back together again, there must be a taking apart, a dissembling of pieces to create a whole. The irony in healing, you must be broken in order to be rebuilt. I knew that seasons were changing, I could sense it. I had reached a place in life where I was tired of repeated cycles, but I lacked the courage to stop practicing what was causing me to remain in them. I knew that I needed to be rescued, but what I didn't know is that I needed to be rescued from myself. And with that rescuing, it will require me to face the things I've spent years trying to avoid. God's timing is truly impeccable. Shortly before starting 𝐀𝐬𝐡𝐥𝐞𝐲, I was in the process of leaving a ministry, ending a relationship that I sincerely valued. I'd become stagnant in my business, and I'd lost motivation for most things that I once enjoyed. I wasn't doing. Although I struggled with what I was losing, it didn't appear to be final. It didn't feel like the end. I had hope that I would bounce back, I just didn't know how. 𝐀𝐬𝐡𝐥𝐿 was presented to me at a vulnerable time in my life. I had no question as to whether or not this investment was spiritual and it would be life-changing. It was the time. I'd invested so much time, money, tears, gifts, and patience into other people's lives and ministries and businesses. It was time for me to invest in myself, to embrace the many gifts and talents that God placed inside of me. I had come to a place of tired of destructive patterns, negative thinking that dominated my decision-making, tired of being in control, tired of being stuck. Honestly, I didn't have any specific expectations. I just had faith in knowing that this program would be purposeful. I decided to go through with it, determined to do life differently after. Y'all, throughout the 𝐀𝐬𝐡𝐥𝐞𝐲 journey, I experienced every emotion from fear to excitement to regret to loneliness to renewed joy. I was broken down, then restored. Going from years of stagnation, brokenness, and delayed progress to cultivating gifts and using my voice was quite overwhelming. Week 1 was about letting go. From the start, everything was faced head on. No more avoidance, no more excuses. By the end of week 3, I needed a new journal because that's how much I had buried inside that needed to be released. Years of distorted thoughts, anger, and resentment. August 23rd, I remember crying, texting Miss Marviette in so many words. I'm in a certain place and I'm struggling and I want to run. I'm not used to this. Retreating back to what's comfortable seemed easier than pushing past the pain of healing. I preferred comfort because I knew what comfort required of me, nothing. I feared what I didn't know. The familiar always offered something that the unfamiliar didn't, and that was insight. Patterns reveal what's next, whether it's helpful or not. Prior to 𝐀𝐬𝐡𝐥𝐞𝐲, I had no true accountability, discipline, or routine. I had structure to do life, but I had no drive. When I ran into an obstacle, I didn't challenge myself, and I had unhealthy habits. I basically did whatever I wanted to do. I procrastinated, I was passive, made excuses, hid my gifts. This was all new for me. The very first line of her reply to my text was, "So proud of you," in all caps. Okay, so now I'm really crying. I didn't understand why she was proud of me. I felt stuck, I was frustrated, I was mad, I was overly emotional. I've always been hard on myself, so to read that in that moment, it encouraged me. Instead of avoiding, I addressed every emotion, got it all out on paper. Fear was not going to win again. Feelings are temporary and they can't dictate the course of your life. I couldn't afford to waste any more time because I was afraid to face the hard things. Week 5, another major turning point for me, a sermon, "Don't Waste Your Pain," by Dr. 𝐀𝐬𝐡𝐥𝐞𝐲. I was faced again with the same fear, with a decision to do what's easy or choose what's essential. Becoming someone I didn't know was scary, new, and uncomfortable. Going back was out of the question, while moving forward, I had so many questions. I needed to rest in the fact that God was in control and not me. Who cares if I didn't have all the answers? Who I am was settled long before this moment. Either way, the end is written and is promised to be good. Embracing the me that God sees in me helped me to keep going. Understanding that I am more than anything I've ever gone through helped me to keep going. Envisioning myself on the other side helped me to keep going. I learned about things I already had within me that I never thought I needed. I had come face to face with the ugly truth of toxic character traits that prevented me from growing. Thinking patterns that held me into a limited space, one-sided relationships because I didn't value me enough to challenge them. I had to unlearn self-compromise, silence, passiveness, and operating from an unhealed place. My worth isn't attached to how well I can perform or what I can do. I am who I am because God ordained it. I am his handiwork, fearfully and wonderfully made, a masterpiece of royal lineage, predestined, set apart, marked, and chosen to fulfill a purpose that is much, much bigger than me.
Amen.
In the midst of facing the truth about the me and me, God allowed me to birth assignments I always knew that one day come into fruition, but the season of birthing hadn't come until now. Breathing Room for the Soul, a compilation of poems and quotes from the heart, and Word of Life, It's Time, a YouTube channel. Now is the time to thrive. Simply getting by has run its course. The birthing process was challenging. I let go of the dark, ugly, embarrassing things that haunted me for years. Every time I struggle or think of the weight of my story, I remind myself that this ministry will free so many, and that truth is greater than any of my fears. The vision is to see those who survive sexual trauma or self-destructive coping mechanisms be set free through God's truth, testimonies, and authentic change. Freedom is possible. This book and outlet to ministry is dear to me because it's God's purpose for me, and there is no better place to be than in his will. He has restored me and given me a chance to use my voice to reach people who are still where I once was. Knowing that lives will change because of my example, I am honored to be chosen to do that. Thank you to my parents. I love y'all so much. Thank you, Ms. Harvey, for seeing the me and me and for this opportunity. I am grateful to God for showing me I had something left. My past did not end me. I am so proud of me. And thank you to my brother, my sister, Laura, Lily, Bina, and Sharice. Love y'all.
Come on, let's give it all the way up for this. For releasing and unleashing the power over you. That was within you. Come on, everybody, stand up and let's honor these ladies. Can you come back? And Miss Portia, can you come back? We are about to have dinner.
I didn't know she was listening.
Let's just get one picture. I want you all to clap hard for my ladies. We cried together. We prayed to say yes. We cried, we prayed. So I told them, now that you have birth, you have to really strengthen your spiritual walk because the enemy is on his way now. Is he on his way? He's on his way now because now we have unleashed. Ladies, men and gentlemen, your responsibility on this earth is to snatch men and women from the hands of the enemy and make sure that they're walking in their purpose and their God-given talent. That is what you are on this earth to do. Of course we love fine things, but at the end of the day, when you lay down, what have you done for God? What have you done for God? All right, we're not going to go to church right now because I'll go there. Woo! I'm church all day long. Hallelujah. Okay, we're going to have dinner really quickly. So we have a couple options.